Hey everybody, welcome to the Star Wars Canon Cantina. It's a special episode today because Jesse and I are here together. I came back to planet Oklahoma.
There we go.
The most humid place in the galaxy, I feel like.
Space Station Tulsa.
Space Station Tulsa. And we're going to do a commentary on Episode 7, The Force Awakens. Jesse, I'm excited.
I'm super excited. So, for those of you that lived under a rock, I guess, Force Awakens came out in 2015.
If you lived under a rock, I don't know how you're listening to us, but thanks for somehow stumbling upon the podcast.
And it was directed by J.J. Abrams, the infamous...
Hey, Jabrams.
Hey. Who is now directing Star Wars Episode 9. So this is actually pretty exciting, full circle. And then we had Rian Johnson, of course, direct the second film, The Last Jedi.
He liked our tweet. We're famous. Famous. Rian Johnson has read the words, the Canon Cantina podcast before.
Yes, he
Life
has.
Vindicated.
Mike said it's time to pack it up.
We're done.
It's just the beginning, Mike, hopefully. So hopefully this is the beginning of more of that. But yeah, so this was the lull of Star Wars we've talked about several times on the show, right?
It was the trailer for this movie that brought me back to Star Wars in 2015 at Celebration Anaheim. We're just going to kind of talk along with the movie. I know this isn't an original idea, but, you're a Star Wars fan. You're going to watch The Force Awakens a lot. Watch it with a different crowd each time. Get our opinions this next time through.
Yeah, so the way we'd recommend doing that is putting your Blu-ray or your streaming service on The Force Awakens and then starting at 0000.
And we'll give you a countdown, and I'll put in a sound effect, and then we're going to click play. We're watching the theatrical cut just on Amazon because Jesse's a ding dong and can't find his Blu-ray copy.
I've been loaning it out. It's a mistake. There's people in my work who have still not seen The Force Awakens.
If you have Jesse's Blu-ray copy of The Force Awakens, please return it.
Yeah, traitors, cowards, all the Kylo Ren words. So if you want to sync along with us at home, this is fairly easy to do. You just got to press play on us and the movie kind of at the same time. So we'll be playing.
You're just going to leave us playing.
And just let us keep talking like we're doing right now.
Yep.
Right. But you should have the movie queued up right now. So if you don't, you could pause our show, cue it up at 00, and Mike's going to cue us off, but we're just going to jump right into it.
All right. So I'm going to give you a countdown. Then you click play on whatever device you're using to watch it. 3, 2, 1, play. Lucasfilm logo. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Oh, yes. Classic crawl here.
Did you know people complained about the starfield here?
I've heard that. Why?
So dumb. It's too 3D. It's not like the other ones.
It looks too good.
Luke Skywalker has vanished.
So good. What a start to this. It's been 30 years, right? And then they start the crawl with Luke Skywalker's vanish. And they, of course, talk about the First Order rising from the ashes of the Empire, which was defeated, of course, from Return of the Jedi. And the First Order will not rest until the Last Jedi has been destroyed. There's that phrase again, Mike, the Last Jedi.
General Leia Organa leads the brave resistance, all caps.
Oh, yeah. So doing the classic Star Wars thing where we have important places, peoples, and factions in capital letters being introduced to the audience. Very Flash Gordon-esque.
We're also introduced to a brand new character right here at the end because it doesn't name Poe, but he's Leia's most daring pilot on a secret mission.
Yes. So Poe is starting this mission to find Luke's whereabouts. And now we have the music swelling into its normal interlude, right?
It's the opposite of swelling.
Yeah, going down. Oh, it's something swelling for me. So not like that.
Traditional pan down. Katie thought it too.
You guys, and my wife's here as well, guys. We didn't mention that earlier. So a really unique shot here. We have the planets panning down to the planets like normal, but then we have a silhouette of a Star Destroyer covering the planet. Very artistic of JJ here and his DP. And then we have the shuttles exiting
the
the Star
troop
Destroyer.
landers with their headlights on because, Star Wars
cool.
space.
Yeah, Star Wars. Things don't always have to make sense in Star Wars. And then we have the First Order Stormtroopers, our first glimpse of them. The modern Stormtrooper helmets. So the first time Mike and I saw these troopers was at Star Wars Celebration, actually,
Yeah.
which was really exciting. Because if you guys remember in the teaser for this, we only saw Finn with his helmet off. And we did see, I think, maybe a brief glimpse of Phasma, possibly. No, that was in the second trailer. So we didn't even know what these trooper helmets looked like yet. And then, of course, now the introduction of BB-8, seeing these transports come towards us.
What's in the bag? What do you hand him?
Lor Senteca, a mentor-type character. No balance of the Force without the Jedi.
I'm old. I remember when she was a princess.
What a great line. To me, I think that's kind of a call to the audience too, Mike, where it's, to us, she's Princess Leia, The news of her being general is brand new for us.
This is the first movie I can remember seeing Oscar Isaac in.
Yeah?
And his career just took off. I know he
you
did a
not
bunch of
see,
movies the same year.
Sucker Punch.
No.
I don't want to start that conversation, but
It looked cool, didn't it?
yeah, he's in that. He was really good in that. Creepy villain. So we have Oscar, Poe running through the village, and villagers
They're
running
watching.
around.
You don't have to narrate it for them.
Are they watching though, Mike?
I hope so.
Some people just listen to these commentaries.
So this is sort of reminiscent of the type of trooper action we would see in Clone Wars. We didn't see it so much in the original trilogy, but in the Clone Wars cartoon, the lander type crafts and the battalions rushing into
just
combat.
spilling out.
We see an X-wing.
Yeah, we see a Blue Squadron X-Wing, which is a little bit of callback, but it was obviously a new type of X-Wing.
They finally learned a better way to load the Astromechs.
Yeah. Makes sense. And of course, this is a full set piece X-Wing, which is great.
Yeah. No real explanation given why Poe's not in his X-Wing, but whatever.
Yeah. Really
Save the cool ship for later in the movie. Nothing wrong with that.
And of course, Poe has the turret that comes out and kills the troopers, very similar to Han with the Falcon. And Poe is our Han character, so.
There's our first Abednego.
Yes.
There's too many of those.
Why is there so many of those in these movies?
I don't know. We saw the Flame Trooper action right there in the trailer, and that was about it. We thought we'd see more of them.
Right.
You take this Lego piece, BB-8.
And of course, here we have the mirroring with New Hope, but in a different way. The really important piece of information.
It's just a retread of New Hope.
No. So BB-8 is running with the important piece of information, just like Leia giving R2 the plans. And this, of course, is our introduction of Finn.
FN 2187.
Yeah, that's right. Pre-Finn. Now, I like what they do here, Mike.
I don't know how I'm bleeding because don't lasers cauterize everything?
Yeah. But
here, have some blood.
This is some good storytelling stuff. Now that we know the Stormtrooper is important for some reason, and he's been marked with blood on his face.
It's this one.
Yeah. So that's a common storytelling technique people use to, just signify the audience, keep an eye on this guy. He's going to have blood on him.
First time we hear Kylo's theme.
Oh, yeah. And I love the, the Epsilon shuttle?
The Batwing, the Epsilon, yeah.
It's huge, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Bigger than the Lambda class shuttle.
The Force Awakens Stormtroopers have the Rogue One Death Trooper voice scrambler on for no reason.
That's a new thing they do. Makes them more
Makes us scary. Wow. And then who's this wiener in the black cloak and the weird mask? You're not intimidating like Darth Vader.
He wants to be Darth Vader. And we have Lor Senteca, of course, captured now.
I'm sorry, what? What'd you say?
Great. So they have a history, which is great. He obviously knew Kylo when he was younger.
My compliments to your TV, by the way. This might be the best non-theater version of the film I've seen.
Yeah.
This means I gotta get a new TV. Oh my god, he killed him. Holy crap, he stopped a laser in mid.
Yeah,
flight.
so this is, of course, our first glimpse of new force powers.
We only have problems with new force powers when a woman uses them, though, right?
Oh my goodness! No, this is really cool. This makes Kylo really intimidating.
Oh
My issues, Mike, is in this film, Kylo Ren to me seems more powerful than he is in The Last Jedi, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
He forgets a lot of these powers when he's fighting the Praetorian Guards.
Yeah, that was super cool, stopping the laser bolt there.
Great,
I love how
lines.
Poe's messing with him. And Kylo's just like, nah.
So classic Star Wars, this is characters not engaging back in lines, bad guys, ignoring the cockiness of the Han Solo.
I
characters
checked
and
one
stuff.
pocket. It's not on him, sir.
Introduction of Phasma to us. We don't know her name's Phasma yet, right? But
Do they say her name in this movie? They do, yeah.
yes.
Finn does, I think.
Oh, well, here's our bloody stormtrooper again. He doesn't look too happy. He's not going to do it.
Pew, 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 pew.
So this is our first look at the seed they plant later in the story that they need to do reconditioning on their stormtroopers sometimes. Also, Kylo looks right at Finn.
Super cool shot.
Yeah, both of them masked. And then, of course, Kylo's about to release the laser and
Pew!
destruction. And sparks, Mike. That's something I really liked about this. The prequels were lacking a lot of the sparks, the natural sparks, right, from the blasters, and I really like.
So
the
I know
practical
it looked
sparks.
cool, and we got the explosion in the X-wing, but shouldn't the First Order like take his ship?
Like use it, like look up the nav.
Yeah,
Yeah,
inspect it some way. Use it on your own spy mission.
I love this right here. Just a creature pops his head out, looks at BB-8. Very OT, very prequels too. Really, just random creature look popping in a shot.
Yeah, except it was a good one.
Hey, there's some good ones. So new Star Destroyer design, but very clearly a Star Destroyer.
What are these called? I know that Kylo's is
I
called the
forget-
Finalizer.
Yeah, I forget the class type. I'm not sure.
Cheat with my phone.
They're much bigger than the Imperial class Star Destroyers, and of course the Victory class. So we have our bloody stormtrooper, who we're going to learn later as Finn, in turmoil here. And of course
Resurgent class. That's what they
Resurgent
are.
class. We have a classic Star Wars moment here where villains just appear out of nowhere and just to forward along the plot. She didn't walk up that ramp. She just appeared there.
I'm trying to think of another time when that happened.
It happens with Vader a couple times. It happens, I mean, it's fine.
Your helmet's dirty, Finn.
So something Mike, I didn't think about that till the other day, but I think it's worth mentioning. So now we're being introduced to Rey. We already introduced Kylo, Finn, and then now Rey, but all the characters were masked when we meet them.
Yeah. I like her stormtrooper helmet goggles that she's made.
Yes. So her and Kylo being masked is an interesting start to parallel their characters.
Parallel the characters in what?
Well,
Oh, you mean these three? Okay.
the awakening of the Force, which is eventually going to happen.
I got you.
Finn is awakening to his purpose.
I thought
Han
I
will-
thought you were comparing it to another movie. And I was
No,
like,
Han will awaken to his, to his final arc, with his regret and things
Oh,
like
no,
that.
she's
coming
out of
back to
water.
that. But everyone's gonna awaken to their purpose in this, but now Rey, of course, is taking off her mask, and Kylo is not. But I think that's worth mentioning too.
wee sledding.
Sledding. And Rey's theme here, which is
So,
brilliant.
This is a neat hill that she's sledding down, but that means she had to walk up the whole thing before, right? You have like a hover John Deere. Why didn't you just drive that up there?
a single pod racer engine. I seriously think if you got two of these, and you
Ben
put,
Single Narrows.
I was really thinking if you got two of these, Mike, and put the pod at the back and the little electric field that holds them together, it would be a pod racer. which is great. I think JJ actually respects the prequels quite a bit, and he's obviously, of course, mentioned that. He's mentioned that with the final film coming. He's been very clear about saying
we
it
saw
will
this
reference
shot
all
in
three
all
trilogies.
These trailers. It was so cool. The crashed Star Destroyer.
Gosh, X-wing, vulture creature just pecking away, and then we're, at this point, I think as an audience, we realize this is, Tatooine-esque, but not Tatooine, of course.
Although the moms in the audience are probably asking, "Is this the planet that Luke was on at the beginning?"
I love this guy, Mike. One of my favorite creatures,
Mr. No Arms.
Yeah, cybernetically enhanced.
Cybernetically replaced.
Hey, this is Daisy's first scene she ever filmed, so worth mentioning.
Even the Jawas got an upgrade.
Yeah. So Daisy's first scene, just looking off to the horizon. And of course, our introduction to Simon Pegg, which is amazing.
Yeah, the amount of practical stuff he had that was just enhanced by CG was pretty sweet.
Good combo.
And then old Joe, the storyteller.
Yeah. Very Tatooine-esque. We have some moisture evaporators.
Moms and dads are still confused.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful shots. Her little rebel pilot doll, which is really neat detail. And then, of course, now we're led to believe Rey's been here for quite some time.
I wonder if anybody's actually paused that screen to count how many marks there are. And will someone teach her about crossing every 5?
I know. So this is what the 1/4 portion got Rey. Basically a meal.
Some veggie paste and a super cool practical effect inflate-a-muffin.
And this is like her meal. So this is going to be significant later because now we've been taught that's what a 1/4 portion is. And when she gets the 60 portions later for BB-8, her refuting that, that's a big deal. That'd be about a year, maybe a half a year's worth of portions, or a year, Mike. I don't know. What's the math there?
What's 60 times 4?
60 times 4. Hey, you made it so simple. Well, no, but is this feeder for one day, really?
It's probably a meal.
You don't think she had breakfast?
She can probably get by on 2 of those a day.
Maybe. Yeah, so half portion a day. And of
Not
course,
comfortably, but
Rey's living in the AT-AT. And
I wonder which Rebel pilot that helmet belongs to. If it's one we saw in the single player.
Dennis Lawson threw at her and said, "I'm done. Take it. I don't never be Wedge again." I really like this character.
Tito.
We get to see Rey helping others here right off the bat, but we get to see...
Isn't the thing he's riding mostly a practical effect, too?
Yes. It's pretty sure it's people inside of it. So now we're seeing Rey's time in the junk planet coming through. And
she's resourceful.
Yeah, and she's... obviously got some mechanical skills, right? And she knows what's valid junk and what's,
well, and
not so good.
She's taught herself. We've seen her speak 2 different languages right here within the same minute.
Right off the bat.
Yelling at Tito in the sequel trilogy equivalent of Huttese, and then talking to an astromech droid.
Right. And Mike, I'm going to tell you, this is very, very similar to what we've experienced with Luke, right? A lot of Luke's time is just spent with R2. And Luke talking to R2, but it's not hearing what R2's saying back, right? But Luke's still responding. Yeah. And that echoes Luke in the original trilogy a lot. Look at him. He's doing the little doggy, like when you tell a dog to stay and like, come on.
My dog doesn't listen when I tell him to stay. BB-8, voiced by John Ralphio Saperstein.
Yeah, a little bit of Bill Hader in there, too. 2 guys. Great scene here.
Hey, Bill Hader was born here in Broken Arrow Station.
Yeah. So we have all the blue light and red light, and then we have the Imperial interrogation droid, just like Vader uses.
Dr. Ball.
Dr. Ball. Yeah.
Okay, so this weenie in the mask is a little more intimidating than we thought the first time we saw him step off the shuttle.
Yeah, and we're about to see that. So we got the Han Solo swagger from Poe, joking, not giving Kylo anything, but now he's doing the mind probe stuff. But
JJ's telling Oscar, all right, look like you are really holding a fart in when you're trying to film this scene. Oh, I'm sorry. Was this supposed to be a serious commentary? Because that's not what I signed up for.
And Mike, I'm assuming it's going to be similar to our episodes.
Then you let the fart go.
I'm assuming it's going to be similar to our episodes. I'm going to try to keep us on track, Mike, and you're going to try to throw in the farts. That's okay. It's a good balance. It's a good balance.
Well, you have a set runtime with the commentary as opposed to me trying to keep us in a reasonable time.
Yeah. I'm just saying sometimes those jokes could go on
I'm
for
here
5
for
minutes.
the farts.
They could go on for 5 minutes. We got to reel it back sometimes.
Your parents will come back one day. No, they won't. They're dead.
Yeah, that's the good mention. We don't know her story yet, right, with her family. But we know that's what she's waiting for. So a half portion, so maybe a full day.
Abednego number 2.
Uh-oh, here we go. Her new buddy.
Those IPA's good.
Yeah, really good, yeah.
I wonder what the
60,
practical
right,
use
Mike?
Yes. I wonder what the practical use of these guys in the background, their masks with the tubes coming out of the side of their head.
I want to know those guys' stories, just like I want to know more about Two Tubes from Rogue One.
Which one? Edrio or Benthic?
Number 1. So now we just saw Rey, like, she's been spending all of her time just to get these portions, and BB-8 means more to her. I also love Simon Pegg's voice here, Mike. It sounds nothing like him. Shows his ability.
I love you, Simon Pegg, but this sounds nothing like you.
Well, just
I know what you mean.
He knows what he's doing.
And so does Ben Burt and Matthew Wood.
Daniel Craig doesn't sound like himself either later. We'll get to that.
Does.
Yeah, a lot more than Simon Pegg does.
Hey, you turned off your voice scrambler.
Yeah, I know. What? Oh. Well, I'm helping you. Because it's the right thing.
The sound of lady boners is contributed by...
My wife might be a fan of Poe. It's okay.
Was it Poe or Finn?
John Boyega is so good as Finn. I don't think Finn's given as much in this movie as some of the other characters, and John Boyega doesn't care. Mike, he works with it so well. And we have the new TIE Fighters. New TIE Fighters. So, Mike, this is new for us as an audience. TIE Fighter that has 2 pilots, as in the standard TIE Fighters. A co-pilot, similar to the Snowspeeders in Hoth, right? If we're just going off of movies.
It's got a gunner slot.
Yeah. Oh, and I love this.
Crap. It's like trying to pull the boat away from the dock, and you're like, ah!
Game of Thrones actors randomly thrown in.
Oh, I dislike it a little more now.
Mike's like, I didn't know that. Just got to mention that.
Reverse cannons.
Reverse cannons.
Hey, Steve, we worked out at the gym yesterday morning. Dad!
Mike, do you think Finn was trained in any sort of TIE fighter stuff? Not obviously piloting, but...
No. They talk
turrets.
about how much he was like a soldier, so he understands like all their weapon systems and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I love that sound. Man, I love that. The TIE fighter kind of like cutting in and out of its classic sound. We've come to know it.
John Williams continues to rule.
I know, and all new stuff, Mike.
Although I do think I like the episode 8 score better than 7, but they're both just super good for a dude, that old and everything.
Yeah. 8's built a lot off of what we learned in 7, though, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I mean, Kylo and Rey's
their
amazing.
themes are great.
I literally don't think John Williams has a bad moment in all 8 films,
I'm sure there's one in Attack of the Clones.
Nah, that even Padme and Anakin's theme is amazing. I just
That's a future commentary.
yeah, please, I'm ready.
So
I'm ready.
Poe gives FN 2187 a name.
Yeah, so that will forever be.
I'm sad he didn't name him FNA. FNA guy. FNA.
FNA. We don't know much about General Hux yet. We just know he's
Shut up, Weasley.
kind of incompetent, maybe.
How do you know that?
I looked at him. I read his mind. Fire. Also, Mike, Hux and Kylo are very young leaders. And so that tells us a lot about the First Order in some ways, compared to the Empire, which was a lot of elderly seasoned men.
The end of the Aftermath books gives a little insight into how this Hux, I forget his first name, takes over for his father.
Can't go back to Jakku. Why does everyone go back to Jakku? One of a kind. I don't care what color he is.
I think that characters speak a lot more for the audience in the sequel movies.
Yeah.
Like Finn saying, I don't care what color he is. That I don't think you would have seen that in the previous trilogies. So we see those pictures of Finn as a baby. He's grown up as a stormtrooper.
Yeah, I like that little detail. So once again, we're sending troopers down to the planet to retrieve a droid that's running from the Empire or the First Order. Oh man,
a black stormtrooper.
This looks real good on the TV right now, Mike. Like the full HD. So this is a 4K TV. This is 1080p we're watching, but it does do some mild upconverting, you know, and obviously some
it looks
smoothing,
super good.
Smoothing out. So this is a combo of miniatures.
He's dead, I think.
CG.
He took off his jacket in time to explode.
To die. That's the sands that they were talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
With Rey.
And then, of course... Boom!
Boom.
Enhanced practical explosion.
Yeah, I like that. Practical effects enhanced by computer. So this is the audience's first time, Mike, to actually fully be just with Finn. We've had that with...
I always think of the first Iron Man movie with this shot. You know, when Tony crashes...
taking the pieces off.
In the desert, and they've all just kind of exploded off of him. Yeah.
I'll talk about the first Iron Man all day, but after that...
Iron Man 3 was pretty good. I said pretty good. Yeah, I bet you like Thor, too.
You bet I like Thor.
2.
No. I don't like Thor 2. I don't like Iron Man 2, and I don't like Iron Man 3.
Well,
I don't like a whole section of the film being Iron Man hanging out with a kid.
Dude, that kid's awesome.
That kid is awesome.
All right, so we see the hive of scum and villainy.
Yes, good mention. Like a callback, but not a direct reel. Once again, we have the the First Order stuff, the strong blues and strong reds.
Clone, drink. He mentioned the clones. Star Wars, Clone Wars saved.
Yep, I like it. Take a drink.
Is he Percy or Bill Weasley?
He's not Bill, is he?
Shut up, Weasley.
It's Bill. So what are all the Weasleys' names?
I don't know. Ron, Tom, Bill.
Nah. So now we have Finn running around in the market. Everybody's ignoring him pretty much.
Space pig in the background.
Big old space rhino pig. Here we go.
Hog squaddle? What's that thing's? name? I remember
Still not
hearing
as
that
big as
somewhere.
Jabba, Mike, but a very big practical effect.
Oh, that's so gross.
That's so gross. He's like, well, got to keep drinking.
And Pig's like, nope.
What? Oi. I like that. That oi. Very UK of her.
You hear a little bit of that towards the end of The Last Jedi, too, when she's talking. So Rey, oh, hey, there's Big Pig Butthole.
Oh, no.
Rey obviously knows how to take care of herself.
Yeah, and Finn looks very shocked here.
But she needs training on how to defend herself with weapons.
Does she?
No, she doesn't.
Just how to use a lightsaber a little bit better.
I like BB-8's alarm sound. She's like, oh man, I saw her kick the crap out of those two dudes. I don't want none of this.
He's like, oh god.
Nope.
John Boyega is so good.
Sit down.
Just like R2, we have the shock, right?
The shock, but not the straight up murder like Chopper.
Yeah, Chopper does the murdering.
I like how BB-8 is kind of rocking back and forth like, yeah, give me a reason. Give me a reason. I'll do it again.
Poe Dameron. BB-8's like, wait, what? That's my dad.
Yeah, you also helped capture him, dick.
Oh, so sad. BB-8's very sad. I leave you.
I forget what it's called, but just it's on the Blu-ray, the behind the scenes like making of Force Awakens when JJ's talking about the different designs they went through for BB-8. That's super interesting.
Yeah.
And he ends up just being drawn on a Post-it, and people are like, oh, we have to figure out how to do that now. Great.
Ray doesn't quite believe him. Some of us look different.
You also, in that behind the scenes documentary, hear about how in the original cut or draft, whatever of this, the relationship between Finn and Rey was a lot more contentious than what actually ended up being in the edited version we see.
Of course, Mike, I got to mention the line we just heard. Luke Skywalker, I thought he was a myth. Kind of the whole basis of our show.
Love this crap. What are you doing? Let go of my hand, creep.
Clearly, Rey is like, I don't need your help. I've been living by myself for years. I'm doing just fine.
And Finn, he's just trying to do what,
Yeah, he's not being
stereotypical, creepy. Legendary heroes do.
Yeah,
he's like, I gotta get the girl.
Gotta protect you. But I really like that Luke Skywalker, I thought he was a myth line, Mike. It's kind of, once again, telling the audience that the First Order knows about Luke. Some of these unknown characters know about Luke. That's about it, though. They might not know a lot past the myths of him, right? There it is again.
Part.
And the TIE fighters. And I love BB-8 just rolling
BB-8 rides a lot of explosions.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Finn's dead. Oh, he's not dead.
She was like, I'm fine.
Yeah, are you okay, dummy?
Another great theme here. Very similar to some of the action scenes in the original trilogy themes.
And I love how you can see the laser bolts coming from the distance right when they're fired. Some tracking with them.
Yes. So every time there's an explosion, BB-8 looks back at it.
That's true. He's looking each direction over both shoulders.
He's like, oh no, another one. Oh no. The garbage ship will do. And then the reveal of another character in Star Wars.
Which, did you know that was the Falcon when they panned past it the first time you saw this?
No.
I didn't either.
No.
BB-8 looks at the camera, gives us the thumbs up. I'm okay with it.
That was from the trailer, Mike. That shot will always stay with me, right? That was our first shot of BB-8 we saw. And the Falcon's looking dirtier than ever. So somehow Rey knows how to pilot things too.
Which is explained in one of the lead-up novels,
Right.
or a collection of short stories or whatever. She's got a flight simulator back in her AT-AT house.
And I love the tarp flying off the Falcon.
Yeah, and also the crashing a little bit. Oh, this is a little different than the simulator. Whoops.
Whoops. Get this hunk of junk. There's Unkar Plot again. Just a despicable character
He's got
in
some
the best
gross
way.
teeth.
Yeah. So Finn knows that, right? There's another information he knows. Oh, Falcon. So there's another shot from the trailer that was just huge with us.
We thought Han or Chewie was piloting when we saw that.
Yeah. Very true. Oh, and I love the First Order pilots. It's such a cool evolution from the original TIE pilots.
We see a little bit of that original cut of their contentious relationship here. Are you ever going to do anything?
Right. Not without a co-pilot, so of course we know Chewie. And then we have the classic targeting computer from New Hope.
Pew, 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 pew.
Completely consistent with the 70s tech. So, Mike, in these new films, the Falcon is just spot on to the original miniature, even though it's CG. Mm-hmm. And the way it moves is spot on with the physics. I'm not sure about the X-Wings and TIE Fighters. They're a little off to me, and that's okay. Because they're moving in different ways we've never seen them move, you know?
I'll pay attention to that when they show up.
Yeah, just look at the X-Wings later. They're a little floaty, but that's okay. The Falcon, though, I have no problems with anything it's doing for it being all CG. And it is completely consistent with the way the Falcon moves.
Oh, you know he did.
And I love it. We see the people salvaging the junk. Really interesting shot here. Zoomed in. Really zoomed in with the ships.
Hey, dummy, climb the ladder, go the other gun.
Yeah, why didn't he do that, Mike?
Because I think we're just establishing that Finn is kind of a dummy. Thank you, Rose.
He's a dummy. It's okay. And once again, they're going inside
A
wreckage of
Superstar
a Star
Destroyer.
Destroyer.
Superstar Destroyer.
Superstar Destroyer. But to Rey, it's nothing, you know? This is just part of the world, you know? This is not... But to the audience, this is very clearly a Star Destroyer.
She is absolutely using the Force here.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Very
like
similar to the way
subconsciously.
little Annie does, right? With the
little Annie
pod
or
racers.
Luke in the
Yeah.
Death Star trench.
Exactly. The instinct of the Force, which has always been one of the biggest parts of the Force, right?
Yeah.
Oh, there we have...
Line up the shot with the
Floaty.
brakes.
Oh, yeah.
Some good Star Wars physics. He's also dead. Yeah, watching that Superstar Destroyer like core run again, she was absolutely using the Force to get the Falcon through there.
Oh, yeah. BB-8 with his grappling hooks lets himself down.
Spider BB-8, Spider BB-8.
No one trained you? How'd you do that? Was pretty good.
So are you two gonna get a room or?
BB-8's like, do I need to leave or? BB-8's like, this guy's not telling the truth.
He's not with the Resistance.
He's like, I know everybody.
F and A. What's yours?
F and A. Mike's not going to keep saying that. Keep it going in the next movie, too.
Kind of retcon. Oh, yep, there's the Falcon.
Yep. Back to the First Order. Man, the Star Destroyers look good.
This was a fun shot in 3D, I remember.
I do remember that, too. That was one of my
And
favorite
this guy's
shots.
like, ah, crap, I drew the short straw in delivering bad news.
About to see another new Force power, Mike.
Force tantrum?
No. The
Oh, yeah.
kind of the reverse choke
it's
pull.
it's just advanced Force choke.
Yeah. It's force choke with force pull built in, right?
You need to level up in 2 different skill trees for that.
Yeah. Oh, tantrum. Also,
Although he's already said what girl, which is important later on in the film.
yeah.
So he's like, wait a minute, what
He's
girl
about to
from
say that,
Yeah.
right? He's about to, I think.
No, I think we were talking over it.
It's about to happen.
Oh yeah, it's right here.
It's really good. That's when he chokes the guy.
Yeah.
So that's relevant, right?
Yeah, what girl?
So that to me ties them together, Mike, more than we've even learned after the second film in this trilogy. I'm still convinced that they have some history in the past, being when they were younger. You know,
I'm not going to hate it if that's true, but I'm not convinced of anything at this point, other than I do not want to see Reylo be a thing.
no, but I'm not saying that. I'm saying
I know you're not.
I'm saying that maybe Rey was at the Jedi Temple.
She may have been,
and he would, of course, remember her.
I love Finn's like, hey man, come on,
Good,
cut the deal with me.
Look at him.
Left shoulder, right shoulder, angel demon.
God, BB-8 is so good. Like,
super, like now iconic BB-8 with the thumbs up.
oh yeah, the GIF. No.
The one that looks like tape, dummy. Finn speaking for part of the audience again.
Why does he say cute boyfriend? I never understand that. It's bizarre. Nervousness, maybe.
Yeah.
It's an odd line, but it works fine. A little out of character for Star Wars, but
We're being swallowed.
being tractor beamed in. Once again, the Falcon looking fantastic.
You know, Finn knows what First Order ships look like, right?
It's the red, man. He's
Oh.
like the red,
Red light
lights.
has to be them.
Red lights. That's of course what the audience is thinking too, right? Because BB-8 weighs a lot.
Yeah, I suppose the audience, believes him that first time. Like, oh, he must know, even though this is totally not a First Order ship.
Yep. Spoiler alert.
At this point, everyone in the theater was like, I know it's coming. I know it's coming. I know it's coming. I know it's coming.
We know what it is. We know it's coming.
Harrison so totally could have gotten away with just phoning this in. But I feel like
Thank
he
goodness he didn't.
really brought it for episode 7.
He brought it more in this than he did in Jedi, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely. Jedi, he kind of phoned in.
Jedi, he was done, and they're like, you got to finish this. You? That thing.
Fourth language, right? For Rey?
Right. Junkyard, see? And Chewie looks different. In a good way, though. You know?
I mean, you can't keep using the same costume you had from all those years ago.
Oh, yeah. Same with Yoda, right? We'll get to that later.
It used to be.
I'll also go by Old Deckard.
Chewie's like,
Chewie's
nah.
like, war hero. He's just my buddy.
Hashtag General
12.
Chewbacca for episode 9. Make it happen.
There's the joke, Mike. So now we've heard the parsecs joke 3 times.
Well, but
in
it's
Star
12
Wars.
if you round down.
Yeah. And it's different every time.
Hashtag General Chewbacca for episode 9.
So it's Solo, the parsecs are different.
Hey, wave at L3, everybody.
L3, there she is. Nice.
Like, literally throw them in a pod, Chewie.
Yeah. Chewie has the bowcaster too, Mike, which is great.
You just see that look of, crap.
And see, Mike, we didn't mention this earlier, but I think it's relevant. This is relevant with Han Solo's story here, but aren't you the smuggler? Aren't you the rebellion general? It's like, and Han's like, nah, I'm neither, you know? And it's interesting that that's their perspectives, right? And here it is, Mike, our whole show. I knew Luke. I more than knew him, right?
Oh, Rathtar.
So to them, Luke's a legend, but Han's like, no, he's a friend. I knew him.
Spider BB-8 again.
And Finn knows what Rathars are. So Star Warsy, Guavian Death Gang.
I wonder who King Prana is.
I know. Maybe some HUD or some big gangster guy.
It could be a Hutt, yeah.
Yeah.
Or King Prana makes you think something big when it's actually somebody really small. That'd be funny too.
Right. So, Mike, cool. A question I have. Yeah, of course we have CG monsters, but
this Chewie and Han banter in this whole movie is great, but especially right there.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna talk your way out of it again, just like that other time.
Chewie's like, we almost died that last time. So, Mike, how many of these scenes are, we have two Chewies in this film, two actors.
It's true.
We have Peter playing Chewie. I'm assuming in a lot of the sitting down shots.
Balatik.
And then we have Jason, right? The new Chewie.
Jonas,
yeah.
Anytime Chewie is standing up, it's Jonas.
And running around, of course.
Yeah.
So, of course, a lot of the piloting stuff is Peter.
Yeah. And whenever Jonas is doing something, Peter is there coaching him.
Right. But
which
apparently
I don't think was the case for 8 or Solo.
I think it was a little bit in 8, but I think Solo, it was fully hands off. It was, all right, man, you're good to go now.
And Jonas does a great job. I love new mobile Chewie.
Yeah.
All respect to Peter.
Oh, yeah, he's awesome.
But
got to meet him, and he's really great. Good to see you, man.
Very Indiana Jones.
Yeah. This whole scene, Mike, is very indie, including the Indiana Jones punch sound coming up. Twice. Chewie's like, yeah.
Chewie's like, yeah, that tracks.
The nodding. Great humor.
The who? I'm sorry, I can't understand
And
you.
we have the Balatik, the Scottish bounty hunter. Something cool. So now these bounty hunters are like, man, we could get some extra money out of this too. And, a lot of people have said this is arguably the weakest scene in the film, and it's still a fun sequence. So,
and do they say that just because it's CG monsters?
I think it's just because it's less story driven, right? It's more just a adventure romp, right? Thing.
I think
And
it's
not
giving
this part, Mike. This part starting here, the kind of hijinks part onward. People obviously love the banter and the classic Han Solo dealing with smugglers. On the Indiana Jones run, it's coming this way. Okay,
bam!
There's that punch, Indy punch sound,
and then we see just the boot survive, which is great.
Yeah, that's very Indy to me.
You think we'll see Indy 5? I sort of hope not.
I don't know. They keep saying they're going to do it. I hope not, but I also hope for it too. I'm kind of.
You hope for some redemption from. Crystal Skull, which
I don't
is
want to see CG prairie dogs ever again. If you start a film with the CG prairie dog,
we need to do a Crystal Skull commentary.
Yeah, let's do that.
Been nice knowing you, Finn.
Finn, genuine fear in Rey here, care. Yeah, this is a very prequel moment, and this is not a bad thing. This is consistent with Star Wars.
And even the sound is prequely there. Like the reverberating.
And of course, Matthew Wood did a lot of work on these films. He's the new Ben Burtt, right? So since the prequels onward, so
he's the voice of Grievous too.
Oh
right?
yeah.
General Kenobi.
Got to meet him too. He's the nicest guy ever. We talked about the work he did at Abbey Road, and I was double nerding out, you know. Music nerding out and Star Wars nerding out. But
gross.
The tentacles thrashing around, severed from the body.
Run! How many times do you think Han has said that to Chewie?
Oh, yeah. So Chewie at the bowcaster. Iconic.
We see the bowcaster's power right there.
Yep. That too. Again. Chewie's like, I'll be right.
Han's like, holy crap.
Yeah, how has Han never shot the bowcaster before? I don't think
Chewie's probably very protective of that thing.
Something interesting Mike I noticed recently when we did our rewatch of the OT, Chewie doesn't have the bowcaster in New Hope. He doesn't get it until Empire.
Yeah, you're right.
So
maybe we'll see in the comics how he gets it.
Whoa, that'd be awesome. So in the Legends stories, Mike, the bowcasters were only used by Wookiees because they can only load them. Yeah. I'm not sure if that's consistent anymore.
And in the LucasArts video game universe, you hold down the right-click button and you can charge up and shoot 5 bolts at a time.
Yeah. You can also do that in the new Battlefront,
remote,
where Chewie gets to charge up the bowcaster. So I just spent a weekend with my little cousins, and which are basically nephews to me, and one of them told me that this is his favorite part of this movie. So
that's awesome.
Least part for a lot of people's favorite part for some kids.
It's definitely something we haven't seen with the Falcon. Like the Falcon actually essentially fighting a giant monster.
Yeah. But also calling back a little bit to Empire and stuff like that, right? Being inside a giant space worm. This time, smaller monster.
Oh,
bunny.
Hey,
Star.
They made another one, and it's big.
We don't know what this voice is yet, but now we know it's Snoke.
Holy crap, he's big.
Right. It kind of bums me out, Mike, that Snoke doesn't look like the way he looks in The Last Jedi in this movie. The improvements they made on him were really nice. Subtleties.
He looks mostly the same.
Yeah. He looks more human in The Last Jedi, and I think that's helpful. Makes him more grounded in realism, not CG.
Well, and part of Snoke's thing is so many people only interacted with him through long distance communication like this. So, you know, he's altering his image to make it more scary, obviously, because he's 30 feet tall here.
Yep. Which we've talked about in our original trilogy discussions.
Yeah, I mean,
Palpatine did this a lot as well, right?
Yeah, he doesn't look exactly the same.
No,
but I'm still happy with what they did in Episode 8, which we'll talk about in our next commentary.
Yeah, they made changes between the films, just like they did in the original trilogy. You know,
yeah, they gave Mark Hamill a messed up face between Episode 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Oh, that's mean. I shouldn't say that.
Car wrecks, man.
Oh, and here, the reveal.
Han Solo. Odd reveal, very, very quick for the audience. But he means nothing to me. So we see the conflict in Kylo starting.
I'm so sick of hearing about the Knights of Ren. It's a one-off line. They don't have to be in Episode 9.
I bet they will, though.
I bet not. I bet you $5 right here they're not in Episode 9.
Like not even like a quick flashback or something?
Flashback, okay, but they're not a relevant part of Episode 9 outside of a flashback.
Oh, I just think they're going to be in some way, and I think that's
then
probably good.
Bets off then.
I think it was just a minor way would be good. Cool and sleeping. Ray knows things about
a power tank. That doesn't make sense.
Giant hairy thing.
What?
Yeah. Chewie's choking him. It's fine. It's fine. So that's a very similar line, Mike, to Han and New Hope, right?
Yeah.
Fly into supernova.
Yeah.
Yeah. Break into a billion
and then
pieces.
they go through an asteroid field anyway.
Move, ball. Don't say that. What was Chewie doing there? Tucking himself down like, oh, I missed the shot. And I got shot.
Chewie, they're holograms.
Yeah. So we keep seeing the holotable again. Force Awakens, then Solo. Good stuff.
We do have the captions on it. I like the things pop up like BB-8 chirps inquisitively.
Oh, yeah. And here's the big scene. Ever since Luke disappeared, some exposition of the Jedi Academy, which was Legends and is now canon again. A lot of rumors and stories. Luke walking away. So this is driving the plot, Mike, but it's also giving us a lot of interesting look into the way the universe now, 30 years post Return of the Jedi, looks at Jedi again. They were basically unknown in the original trilogy, and it looks like we're still in that position. People are saying, oh, that's Legends. The Jedi are Legends. All of it. It's all true. And so we're keeping consistent with the original trilogy's lore on the Jedi. They were basically myths and rare. Gonna see an old friend. The dogs are shuffling around.
Did I get away with it? Did anybody notice that I went to the bathroom and stuff?
Now they do. Now they do. Oh, I just got to talk about the lore of Luke and the Jedi, so...
Yeah, good. I don't need to hear any more of that.
Yeah, we do too much of that as it is. No, it's really important, Mike. That's the seeds of the everything here. A lot of practical stuff and a lot of CG stuff here with Maz's castle and
This
a
is
new location.
This is a fun level in Battlefront 2.
Yeah, it is. Played it the other day. Hey, Solo. Mr. Solo.
There's more of that saying what the audience is thinking. Because did he really just call him Solo and then Han says it? I like it.
It's fun. Big deal.
Great
Always.
delivery. John Boyega's so good. Give him better movies than Pacific Rim 2.
Yes, please. New blaster. Unique looking blaster. Looks like a little fisheye camera with a barrel on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is probably very consistent with the original trilogy where they just put plastic and stuff together.
Oh, we'll talk about it. Yeah, we see cameras used at props in Episode 8, too.
Right.
So,
This
is Han
interesting.
having this conversation with her because he knows her?
I think so.
It'll be interesting.
The delivery he does is, it seems like that. Like, you know, if you want, like, but that also could just be Han way of asking for help.
I mean, Han does have a lifetime of history of talking to people in a certain way that sometimes works, you know, gets them to fall in line. Like he had the crew to hunt the Raftars.
True.
So, why was you again? Get your droid on a clean ship. You think it was luck that Chewie and I found the Falcon? We can find it on our scanners.
Super cool droid.
Han's calling it the Falcon now, you know. That consistency with Han's name changing
Hey,
pronunciation of
there's
the
the
Falcon.
Mandalorian. Oh my God, Boba Fett's in the movie.
Oh my goodness, the 501st flag. That's there too.
Bit of an acquired taste, so let me do the talking and whatever you do, don't stare.
So we have our cantina scene coming up, Mike.
I love the new song.
It's fun,
Written by Space Ziggy Marley.
right?
Jabba Flow.
Jabba Flow. Look at that guy. He's a
Worm,
big old
dude.
worm. Maz. Everybody knows Han.
I love the little horn sound there. The
Where's my boyfriend?
Chewie's working on the Falcon.
I like that Wookiee. I assume you need something.
I like that Wookiee.
I really like Maz.
I like Maz in this movie.
Bosk's cousin here.
Oh boy. Awesome. Bam.
Mosquitoes.
So interesting thing they do in this movie, Mike, is we don't really see
That droid looks like it's from Spaceballs. Not this one, but the pointy one.
Oh, I just think Metropolis. It's
that too.
I mean, that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
That's what the Spaceballs reference was too, but and 3PO, right? But something I find interesting, Mike, in these movies, for better or for worse, there's really not a lot of the original aliens.
It's true.
And you can't really count Akbar and stuff because he's an existing character, right? So it's like of the non-existing characters.
That's something
Or
I
nine,
intend for us to take a dive into because I
It's
love the
interesting.
sequels, but it's one of my larger gripes with
Mine
them
too.
far.
It kind of bums me out.
So Kylo is talking to someone, talking to his grandpa, or is he?
Right. So what if he is talking to Snoke here and
Well-
Snoke's like, oh man, he's thinking of all this
So
stuff
as a
about me.
first-time viewer of this, we think he maybe is talking to Darth Vader in some way because here in a second we're going to cut to the mangled helmet.
Yeah, are they communicating through the Force, or is this just sort of a meditative ritual he does?
A self-pep talk. Or
God, so
on-
good.
once we have the context of episode 8, is he actually talking to Snoke? Is this part of Snoke's manipulation of Kylo?
Right.
Skywalker himself. You are right back in the mess.
I actually sort of hoped we would see Maz in a quick cameo in Solo.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Been running away from this fight for too long. Han. Yakine go ada. Go home.
They don't want to see me. So we're getting more story filling in the gaps.
The only fight against the dark side. Through the
Chill, Irv.
I've seen evil take many forms. The Sith, the Empire. Today, it is the First Order.
You think that Maz and Yoda could have been homies if he didn't have to go and hide?
I think they were, for sure.
Oh, if we get the Yoda prequel movie when they're both only like 600 years old.
Right.
Yeah.
They could be technically some of the only characters we could recognize.
There's a whole group of their offspring out there somewhere in the far
gosh.
corner of the galaxy.
What's orange and green mixed together?
No, it's just Yoda's but orange. Yoda's but orange or Maz's but green.
Weird pickup shot here of Han that always bugs me right there. It's just
that one?
yeah, it's not consistent with the rest of the shots. But it's so quick. It's like, okay, that was a pickup. You know
I was
what I mean?
looking back and forth at you too much. I missed it. The inconsistency.
Just the lighting's a little different, and Harrison's hair is different and stuff. It's like they did the thing, the classic thing that happens. People have to come back and do pickups, and then it's like, oh, Obi-Wan doesn't have a beard now in episode 2, but put a fake beard on Ewan. Do a pickup shot. It's like, oh.
I'm Finn. I'm a tough guy.
Yeah,
And
I'm a
Maz is
hero.
like, I've seen through so many of you.
You see those two?
Check out the shoulders on that dude in the background there.
Oh, yeah.
Cut back to him. Come on. If we weren't doing a commentary, I'd make us rewind because they're hilarious.
Yeah, what about your base, dude?
Oh, right. I am with the resistance.
Forgot about my ruse.
It's an elaborate ruse.
Keep that rifle, dude.
That shoulders are gone. Oh, well.
Yeah.
We'll have to watch it again.
Ray's got the pistol.
Who's the
girl? And then, of course, we cut away
to Sidon, Ethano, and I forget the other dude's name.
Those guys are awesome.
Yeah, there's a neat short story about these two.
Yeah, like they do in Star Wars. There's the Metropolis droid again, which is also awesome because it's goes back to George's love of early sci-fi, right? So,
or JJ's in this case.
Oh, of course. That's all 3PO was, right? Was George saying, I like the Metropolis droid, and Ralph McQuarrie gave me some sketches, and it evolved towards 3PO eventually.
Yep.
But I'm assuming, Mike, too, with The Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and like they did in Rebels, they pulled a lot from Ralph McQuarrie's content that they didn't use before.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's a lot of characters that are references to that we don't even know about how they were created, but they were created.
Odd choice to put Rey up on a step and make her so much taller than Finn in this scene.
This is bizarre.
I mean, it's not bad, but she is just really looking down on him.
Unfortunately, that's almost everybody in this movie towards Finn.
Maybe that's why.
Except Poe.
Huh. Could be.
So, Mike, we're coming up on my favorite scene of this whole film. Rey hears a little girl yelling, right? And
yeah, she hears some faint, no, come back.
Yeah.
Thank you, captions, for telling me what she's saying.
So, of course, very similar to a lot of things we've seen in Star Wars before. The Force is kind of calling to people, giving them guidance without, specific direction. It's more feeling, right?
I like the work that BB-8 has to do to get down
I love
these stairs.
It's so
very
impressive.
Carefully.
That was probably hard for them to do compared to some of the average stuff he does with the puppeteers.
Do you think that door opened because she was standing there, or it was another subconscious Force thing?
Ooh. I'm thinking a Force thing.
Or
if
not her using the Force opening it for her.
Yeah, as we hear Maz say too, like the lightsaber's calling to you, like for some reason. And obviously the Force is amplified in this area around this lightsaber. Because it's an artifact. It's the legacy saber.
The Ultra MacGuffin.
Yeah. Anakin's, Luke's, and now Rey's witnessing it. But here we go. And you're going to appreciate the captions here, Mike.
We were originally supposed to see Luke and Vader fighting in this hallway.
Yep, the Empire Strikes Back hallway. Surrounds us and binds us. Yoda saying that. And then we see Luke and some flames and rain. Put his hand on R2. Here we go. Kylo and we assume is the Knights of Ren. And Kylo sees Rey, which is...
He looks up from something else.
Yeah. Little baby Rey with Unkar Plot.
We saw a little bit of the shaping of Starkiller Base.
The Obi-Wan Rey. And then we see the snow, which is, of course, later in the film, like Mike said.
I have fully bought into the fan theory that flashback to Kylo when he looks at Rey, that actually has happened. Kylo saw this vision of a girl
in the past
with that lightsaber. And
maybe
that's why he's saying,
girl?
what girl? He's looking for her. I think that's super interesting that she sees the vision happen then, but it has happened years in the past for Kylo.
That makes sense. Maz looks so good. Her hands and
I see your eyes. You already know the truth.
obviously some of the better CG in Star Wars, which is then followed up by Snoke in the next film, which I think is even better.
And Maz tells us about Rey's parents right here. She's not a Kenobi or any other thing.
Skywalker, Solo, any of that.
I will put some outside money on she is another descendant of like maybe Shmi Skywalker
Right.
way back then, because who said that she didn't have another kid or have a sibling herself that had kids, but I hope she's unrelated.
I don't think that would be consistent with the timeline though, because Shmi dies when Anakin's 20.
Shmi would be like her like great
great grandmother
Yeah.
or grandmother.
yeah.
And of course we have the Force theme in the background. The saber. Take it.
No. But it's not enough like the hero's journey. She doesn't refuse the call to action. Oh, wait, she just did.
She did. Yep. Exactly like Luke. And of course,
Break the cycle of the hero's journey.
Rey is our Luke in this trilogy. Whether or not she's a Skywalker is not relevant. She's
Exactly.
our new Luke. Circular base looks so cool.
But they don't represent Nazis. No, not at all. They're not supposed to be representing Nazis. Even though JJ said, what would happen if the Nazis went to Argentina, then regrouped? They don't represent Nazis. Except they do.
The lonesome.
Loathsome, not
Yeah,
lonesome.
I know. I just like the way it sounds.
He's an angry Weasley.
So Hux is very thin in this movie, but I feel like he does a decent job with what he's been given. It's a little over the top here, but I like it.
It's over the top, but like
I think the First Order is more over the top
This whole
than the
thing is
Empire.
over the top. Yeah,
Like they're a more over the top Empire because they have to be, right? Because they're younger, rekindled version of the
I think
old
we
Empire.
just that first order officer turned around. She actually ends up playing Ghost in the new Ant-Man movie. I think that was her.
Oh, okay.
If that wasn't her, I know she's in this movie.
It is interesting, though, Mike. I will mention the First Order does allow women, but still no aliens. So consistent with the old films,
The old Empire.
and Legends, and seems to be the new canon as well. The Empire, Palpatine has a distaste for aliens and women, minorities in his empire, but it looks like the First Order is embraced.
But they're not Nazis.
They're not Nazis. Oh, man. 5 planets. So we see a planet that looks similar to Coruscant, but obviously not Coruscant, but
But I'm supposed to believe Kylo is a sympathetic character who deserves redemption.
when he's letting he's killing all these planets. Look at those fleets too, Mike. We
Yeah,
can see them
you
blow up.
see the fleet evaporate
Right.
too.
Metropolis droid again. And I guess everyone can see this from
There's some Star Wars space physics going on for
Yeah.
sure right here.
Yeah.
That everybody can see what just happened.
this is more the fantasy elements of Star Wars, not the sci-fi.
yeah.
And that's good because
Yeah.
the galaxy is aware of this now and it's creating tension for our characters. Another great sequence about to start, Mike. This whole battle coming up.
Oh, I'm BB-8. I'm a stealth droid.
Yep. Once again, just characters appearing. That's okay. Because it keeps the plot moving. This isn't Star Trek. We don't have to see BB-8 teleport in or whatever via some technology. And there's the
It's the other side of the planet.
the shot
Who
right
cares?
there.
The shot's super cool.
Do you know what shot that is?
Oh yeah. But it made no sense with the daytime setting. They were just in. They had to go to a different spot on the planet for it to be sunrise.
No, that was JJ
instead.
saying one. I want Apocalypse Now shot because
Right.
I'm a film nerd.
Right, but it's not consistent with where they were just at, but that's okay because it's super cool.
So, Mike, there's a deleted scene right here that's obviously
Where
gone.
Maz uses the Force.
Right. But we're thinking Maz, she's not a Jedi Master or a Jedi. It's just she has more of the just understanding of the Force, right? And its benefits. What do they call a Force sensitive, right?
Yep.
And the castle is being...
And little
bombarded.
Annie had a statue of one of Maz's species in his room in episode 1.
Very good. We
Pew!
heard Kylo's
Oh, crap.
theme with the shuttle. Ray's like, oh, I got to turn the safety off. Maybe Ray's never used a blaster before, you know?
Maybe she hasn't.
I would believe that, actually. But clearly she's competent in melee combat.
Nope. Run away. Run away.
Yeah, there's too many of them. Oh, man, like I love this stuff.
With the
That
girl.
girl. Hard turn.
You have to keep going. Stay out of sight.
Yep.
Try to fight them off.
Ray's being very heroic here. She's going to buy BB-8 time because he, once again, is the R2 of this New Hope. And Han and Chewie just throwing the giant mortar off.
Han throwing the no look.
Another Indiana Jones
Pro.
moment. Come on, Chewie. We've heard that before.
They need you. Now, go! I need a weapon. You have one.
Subverting the audience a little bit. We've
Yeah.
seen in the OT, though, characters use lightsabers a little bit.
We've seen in the comics that anybody can use the lightsaber.
Yeah, if you guys listened to our Marvel episodes, Han using the bowcaster again for another fun moment.
It's a fun practical stuntman moment.
Yeah. Throw some stuntmen around. And that was a trooper killing a random guy.
Traitor!
Traitor, here we go.
And it would live in meme infamy.
Really cool fight scene here. Once again, Mike, the lightsabers have a lot of weight.
And
Baseball
look,
bat-ish.
Finn doesn't really know what he's doing right here.
Yeah, he's swinging it more like
He's
someone
like-
with a baseball bat, not a...
Baseball bat, pointy end at the other guy kind of thing. But obviously this other guy is more trained in his lightsaber resistant weapon.
Oh, yeah.
Blap!
And so I guess something worth mentioning, Mike, is if you're not a super nerd like a lot of Star Wars fans, you don't really technically know that's Luke's lightsaber from the past or Anakin's lightsaber.
Oh, yeah.
But maybe the blue blade there helped a little bit, guide the audience, you know. If you didn't recognize the hilt before, well, now you're recognizing the blue blade.
Love, love, love this shot.
Oh, yeah, it's
Kicking
fun.
up the water from the lake.
I don't love the way the X-Wings fly in the atmosphere as much,
Well, you're dumb. They look fine.
but I love these shots. So it's kind of like one of those... they don't work as well as the Falcon does in the atmosphere. And that's
But TIE fighters work in the atmosphere.
No, I don't think they work either. But I think this is still fun. We get to see a lot of atmosphere combat and flying in these movies that we've never really seen in Star Wars before. You know, we see ships leaving atmospheres, right, Mike? But we never
Look,
see big action scenes.
This explosion's not great.
No. CG, of course. Stormtroopers flying, and of course, a very Star Wars semi-campy moment. Han, Chewie, and Finn did not get hit by one bullet there. You know. That's great.
This March of the Resistance is super good. Now we see Finn in what he's trained to do, be a soldier.
Right. And then we see Poe go on his killing spree. And that theme
Pew, pew,
going.
pew, pew. He kills what, like 10, 11 TIE fighters
Yeah.
right here?
And
Some
the
people
bromance
hate
continues.
that line. It's fine.
It's fine. The bromance continues though between the two of them.
Yeah, if
It's like they were together
If
in
we're
that
gonna
scene.
start shipping episode 9, give me Finn and Poe.
Or Chewie and Maz, man. You know?
I like this just the area
ambiance.
with the rocks on all sides, with the moss on them.
Yeah.
There's a neat fan film with some Jedi and Darth Maul that takes
Yep.
place in a similar setting. I forget what it's called, but
It's called Maul or something. I don't know. Yeah.
It's pretty sweet.
Really good fan film.
I'm gonna stop you.
And so Kylo there, he's deflecting the bolts, but it's much more aggressive than we've seen before. You know, Vader does the subtle deflecting. Luke does the very precise deflecting, right? Kylo's almost slashing the air.
Yeah.
He's literally knocking them away like a baseball with a baseball bat. And then, of course, another new power where we see the Force freeze. Rey cannot move. Favorite shot here, one of them.
That was in one of the trailers, I think.
Yep.
Oh, your hands smell so bad.
My ancient Sith gloves.
Super
Found
ancient.
in a Sith temple somewhere.
Never washed them.
Yeah. Another Force power again. Force feint. So, Mike, we've seen Kylo use a lot of new powers.
Yeah, that's a nicer way of putting it than I would have.
Yeah. You're going to say Force state rape or something?
No, I wasn't, but okay.
But something like that.
Well, now I can't get past that.
It's terrible.
Run, Finn.
Run, Finn. Finn's being heroic again. He sees the bad guy.
Finn yells a lot.
Yeah, he does. And the TIE fighter's doing weird stuff in the air again. Weird
The fact
flying.
that TIE fighters are able to fly in atmosphere is weird enough.
Yeah, but just they sometimes it seems like they're cruising along. Sometimes they're floating like a Harrier. Sometimes they're
Who says they can't do that?
just serves the plot.
Falcon can do that. Why can't they?
I
This
don't
thing
think-
can do that. Why can't
By
they?
the way, I don't think there's any problem with Kylo's shuttle the way it flies. And we see a resistance transport, and we see the classic rebellion colors.
Oh, yes, Queen.
Yep. So
damn it.
good.
It is super good, even
It's
though
so-
he looks so cheap in this movie.
What's up with that?
I don't know. Like he just looks straight plastic.
Also, does
right?
he look wider to you?
Well, give Anthony
Give
Daniels
Anthony-
give him a break, man.
It's like, Anthony, you went from a size 26 waist to a 29, dude. You're letting yourself go.
Yeah, give the man a break.
Well,
but
I think 3PO looks wider. I don't know what it is.
he's not the one who is supposed to make him not look like plastic.
New jacket, new hair. Good stuff. Chewie's got to come in.
Chewie's like, stop being awkward, you two.
There's the hug we should get at the end of the movie, but
Which JJ admits is a mistake.
yeah, it must have just not been a pure oversight, you know? So now we already knew that they were related, but now we're, Han is telling the audience as well.
Dakar.
Yeah.
Our T-70 X-Wings.
Yep, new X-Wings. We haven't talked much about them yet, being new, but slicked up. And the real Falcons.
The X-Wings are souped up and they've got the wings that interlock with each other. That's super cool.
Yep, makes them thinner, and then we see Poe's X-Wing in the distance. The one we didn't see at the beginning of the film.
Black one.
Mike, I guess earlier he wasn't driving this because that one had to be destroyed in the story.
Yeah, exactly. That one had to go.
It's lame, but it's also like, well, that's fine.
No, it's totally like starting the story, and it's fine. But here's where we get
More bromance.
It's more than bromance. Here's where we get the beginning of Finn and Poe.
Yeah.
Oscar Isaac did a great job of talking JJ into not killing him.
Thank goodness.
And here we go. Lip bite, it's happening. Finn and Poe
Whoa.
in episode 9.
Very strong callbacks to the Masasi temples on Yavin 4 and New Hope.
Get a new thing, Rebels.
I know. You guys found an ancient building and you put equipment up in it.
Hi, Greg Grunberg.
Greg Grunberg, yes.
I wish I was friends with JJ from like first grade.
Snap Wexley is his Star Wars name.
What's his actual first name?
Timon.
Good job.
Great scene.
I really love this part, yeah. I believe everything you're saying, Chewie.
That's Drew's like, I'm pretty brave.
Yeah.
It's if a dog could talk, right?
It's pretty much
It's
I'm
what
the
you're-
best.
3PO looks better here. The lighting's helping him. Don't do what?
I really do like the banter between these two.
It's very good. And Carrie was definitely getting her stride back. I think she's better in The Last Jedi, but I think she's fine in this.
She absolutely does step it up in The Last Jedi, and she admits to that in interviews.
Yeah, that
we
she
saw
wasn't
that.
quite ready. She said
She
that.
hadn't acted in a while coming into this.
Right. And the reveal of R2. And then we have our new R2 meeting the old R2. And 3PO with the red arm. And once again, Mike, there's a lot of storytelling tools they're using here. 3PO having a red arm just tells us a story that time has passed, right?
It doesn't tell us a story. It's a gimmick.
No, I don't think it's that much of a gimmick.
It's a one-issue comic. It's a gimmick.
Oh, I'm not talking about the story of that. I'm just telling that time has passed. 3PO's something happened. He got painted. He lost his arm. You know what I mean? It's more of a callback to New Hope when 3PO has a silver leg, right? Just the one silver leg. It's like, why does he have that? George threw that into people to ask those questions.
So we're seeing the different mental approaches the parents are taking.
Yeah. Lost you both. Lost Ben, lost Han. And they talk about Luke as well.
And you weren't that good at it, buddy. Sorry. But that's what makes you such a good character. Because if you were good at smuggling, you would have ended up like Jabba.
Right. If Luke can reach him, how could I? Luke is a Jedi. It's almost like Luke's his
You're
formal
his
professor.
father. You're the one that can spank him.
Yeah. Luke's his formal professor at best, is what she's saying, But to be fair, Luke's also his uncle,
Yeah.
which does carry some weight.
Not compared to Dad.
No. So we got a snow planet. We got a desert planet. We got a forest planet.
Putting them all in one.
I'm really thinking about the ramifications, what I said earlier with the force power, the day rape. Then she wakes up in bindings. It's not looking good.
Jesus, I wasn't thinking about that.
It's bad. It makes Kylo Ren extra creepy.
Yeah, see? Does not need to be redeemed.
No. So we see the hood off now
They've demodulated his voice for this scene.
to make it an easier transition.
Well, to make it
the
easier
speaking.
transition and to make sure you understand what he's saying.
We actually see the helmet come off.
Oh, it's Matt, the radar technician.
Right.
Or that guy who was in Girls.
So, Mike, do you see all that? What he just dropped that in? Did you-
Ashes
Yeah.
of his enemies.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know that. That's creepy as well.
Yeah, no, Kylo's a creep.
So, time passes between them filming these movies, right? But Adam and Daisy both look much younger in this film. Than
They
The Last
do.
Jedi,
I was
dramatically.
thinking that, but
And Adam's hair is different. And
we can't help that they are just getting older.
Yeah.
Mark looks a lot different between 4 and 5, with extra help from the car crash. But,
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Well, and he was at a very young age.
Well, Daisy was only what, like 22 or 3 when they started
Right.
this,
Yeah.
and they
Mark
needed
was similar.
they needed Adam Driver to get swole for episode
Yeah.
8
White boy.
to become Ben Swolo.
Yeah. I see the island.
He's such a creep, which makes him a good villain. I like Kylo Ren as a villain, but
Yeah.
I just vehemently disagree with everybody that's like, he has to become a good guy and get redeemed in 9.
I like the turmoil in him too, a lot. He looks like, obviously Adam Driver has a completely different face, but they obviously emulating the Anakin hair, you know, the Anakin turmoil, right, of turning to a Sith Lord, and
Kinda.
there's a lot going on there that's similar. That's all intentional.
No, I don't think it is.
Grandpa and the guy that wants to be just like Grandpa.
I don't think it is.
Okay.
Because he didn't know what his grandpa looked like before he was Darth Vader.
No, I think it's a writer thing.
I don't think it is.
They
I
could
think
have
it's
given
like,
Kylo short hair.
They're like,
They coulda
oh,
given
hey,
Kylo short hair.
but he looks more dark and brooding and emo with long hair.
Adam Driver can't help. He has black hair.
Well,
that doesn't help him.
This is a thing we'll have to ask JJ when we interview him on the podcast.
Yes, absolutely. Also, while we're on the subject of hair here, Mike, Adam's hair changes between these movies. Yeah, you've watched Last Jedi a lot. I don't know if you noticed that, but I think the choices they made were good. In this
I
movie, his
also-
hair is a lot curlier and prettier and fluffier and stuff.
I also just don't care.
Well, and they just, I think The Last Jedi is a lot more consistent with the character, you know? It's
Do you like
straighter, it's
how
scragglier.
Ray just turned the Mind Probe back on him? That's the important part we glossed over.
That's a really big. And Snoke's dumbfounded, right? How?
And
How?
we're seeing the early signs of Kylo and Hux vying for favor from
Yep.
Snoke.
They both want to be the Supreme Leader, and they also want the Supreme Leader's focus and his approval. Snoke's like, yeah, bring her to me.
Creepy.
Bring her to me in like a day. Oh, there's the red light again on the troopers and the blue.
Hi, Bond.
Hi, Bond.
He's got one more movie, right?
One more before hopefully Idris takes over.
Or they just end it because they're not good movies anymore.
Not all the Bond movies were good movies.
Oh,
Mike.
no, I
I've seen most of them, and most of them aren't.
I absolutely agree, but I don't think
Some
I've really
are great
liked
movies,
any
though.
of the Daniel Craig movies.
You don't like any of them?
I don't think so.
Casino Royale?
Oh, that's my least favorite one. No, I'm more of a Mission Impossible as the modern spy movie.
That's your
guy.
least favorite one. That's the best written one, so. But yeah, it's least actiony of the new ones.
I actually don't know I've even seen all the Craig movies.
And I'm a huge Mads fan, you know that, so. He was the villain in that
Oh,
one.
yeah, he was.
Oh, Jedi Mind Trick. You
Didn't
hear-
work the first time. Worked the second time. Why did she learn to do it so quickly? So my thinking is that she's actually used
this
the
before.
Jedi mind trick before.
Oh, yeah.
Either on Unkar or just other people on Jakku to help her,
Without
get
knowing,
by.
but without knowing what she was.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And maybe not in such an overt way, like, and drop your weapon. But
The only time in the original trilogy we see Luke do it is on Bib Fortuna. But obviously, Mike and I have been noticing the gaps between the movies. He's been trying it out, but he's been failing.
love these scenes with the stormtroopers. No, I don't need that in my life today.
Yeah, that's some of the Marvel humor that really works for me there, if that's what you want to call it.
Stop saying Marvel humor. That bugs the crap
I
out
never
of
said
me.
that. Other people have said that.
I know you didn't come up with that. You're saying that to bug the crap out of me.
Yeah, I am, just to reference. That's what people were talking about. That type of stuff. No, it wasn't like a joke into another joke of someone noticing the joke. That was just a moment.
That dude in the background.
Why are there
looks
no
super
Twi'leks here?
sunburned.
Why are there no Moncals here other than Akbar? Bugs me.
Yeah, no.
Why is the
Well,
resistance all people?
It's all human at this point. Yeah.
It's annoying.
Oh, nope. There's an Abednego.
Yeah, just that one race.
Like, nothing against the Abednego.
They're good design.
Oh, hey,
yeah.
and there was Nine Numb. We saw him up near the front.
So
We
Mike,
have
something
one
fun I like to talk
Abednego
about here
and
is
one Celestine.
Naya Num he's been fully evolved now into a real person. In Return of the Jedi, he was just a Muppet.
Yeah.
So
He looks weird as not a Muppet.
yeah, obviously some changes had to be made, so a real person could be him.
Which is fine. I'm glad to see him there.
And this is again another Star Wars thing, right? We have the rebellion talking about how they're attacking
It
the
has
bad
to
guys.
have this one sort of thing, right? Oh, hey, here's that one sort of thing. It's fine.
Yeah, this is a New Hope. This is not an Empire, really, but it's in Return of the Jedi. It's in Rogue One. Akbar sounding really old.
Because he was.
Poor guy.
I can do it. I like this guy. Saving the shields, but I have to be there on planet. We'll get you there.
Chewie is tall.
Told you you wouldn't like it. So we disable the shields,
Great line.
take out the oscillator, and we blow up the big gun.
General Chewbacca.
General Chewbacca. There we got some Snap Wexley action. That blue droid that we only see, unfortunately, like once or twice. They showed a lot in the promo stuff for the movie.
Yeah.
Carrie's daughter's
Oh,
droid,
there's
right?
another moment. Yeah, Billy Lord. We've already seen some of Lieutenant Connix.
Nah, you tell me.
I've always hated watching you bleed.
That's why I did it.
So good. I'm so sad. I miss you,
So
Carrie.
sad.
The world needs more Carrie.
I know.
Wasn't all bad, was it? Huh? Some of it was.
Remember time at Celebration, she dipped that dude and made out with him on stage?
Carrie.
That guy he was not ready for it.
No, he wasn't. That was hilarious.
But he went with it, which is the right response.
If you see your son, bring him home.
You can see on Han's face, he knows just how
We have
hard
the Han and
that's
Leia
gonna
theme.
be. How hard and maybe impossible that'll be. This scene's added to give just the plot some moving forward momentum.
Yeah, to remind people what's happening. So listen in the background here, Mike. We have a lot of the Death Star intercom stuff.
Yep.
Almost direct quotes on some of them, and obviously the sound effects are the same. Oh, we got the hyperspace tunnel.
Their shields have a fractional refresh rate. Keeps anything traveling slower than light speed from getting through.
We don't need to know how he knows this. That's fine because it makes for great Star Wars.
Yep. Once again, this is
Oh,
some
crap.
fun fantasy stuff.
Ta-da! That's what the Falcon theme. Is that what we can call that?
A Falcon swell.
Yeah.
Of the song.
Falcon fanfare.
Yeah. We of course have that exact song really loud when Chewie finally sits down at the controls in Solo, and I teared up a little bit when we have Han and Chewie first time,
CG's not great on the snow there, but that's
No.
okay.
or the Falcon in some of these overexposed shots. Doesn't look as good as it did on Jakku. Oh,
Uh-oh.
Han Solo.
Not Dad, but Han Solo.
Yeah,
That's the
very
angsty
detached.
teen who starts calling his parents by their names because he's so mad at them.
Oh my goodness. Don't think I've ever done that in my life.
Because you were the absolute opposite of that.
That's true.
Sanitation.
Sanitation. I love the Han Solo scarf here. Takes us back to the and the jacket, right? Takes us back to the Hoth stuff.
Once again, Finn just doesn't get it.
Finn's like, I just want to be a hero, man. Finn's very similar to New Hope Luke, too, Mike.
Love this
New Hope Luke.
interaction still. If Chewie's like, hey, man, we've done snow planets before. I've had enough of this. We were on Hoth,
yeah.
and then whatever the planet was in Solo. I'm done. Yeah, her. I think she goes on to be Ghost in Ant-Man and the
Right.
Wasp.
Oh, man, love it. That really hurt. You see chunks of armor. Han throws the jacket away.
Oh, Phasma.
Oh, Phasma wasted in this movie. Gwendolyn Christie is so good, though.
Phasma!
Gwendolyn Christie is so good with what she's given, which is so little. Bring it down. Bring it down.
Yeah, no, she is good and deserves a bigger part in this movie.
Yeah, it's
Which she
unfortunate.
gets a little bit more of in episode 8. And even though she's not on the initial cast billing in episode 9, I bet we see her. Because
Bet she
Ryan
comes back.
Johnson called her the Kenny of the Star Wars universe.
Okay. Or the Boba Fett.
But he said the Kenny who never dies.
Yeah.
Parkouring down
Shao
the side here.
Scrappy Ray is here. Obviously, my directly referencing Obi-Wan stuff here around the Death Star, right? Sleuthing around, and you know, Obi-Wan, of course, turns off the tractor beam, but Rey's just trying to avoid troopers.
For some reason, she knows pulling that lever is going to open a panel. It's fine.
It works. 1970s computer console stuff again. It's great.
I don't think Phasma's scared of Finn. I think she's scared of Chewie behind her.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's experienced enough to know that
That's a fight I'd
that's
love to see,
bowcaster.
Mike, in the next movie.
Yeah.
Chewie and Phasma, two Titans beat down.
I'm all aboard. Yeah.
Similar to the Dengar thing we saw, right, in the comics. Trash compactor.
General, their shields are down.
Fan service, but whatever.
Thank the maker. That's a little Annie.
Roger, base. Red squad. Blue squad. Take my lead. Dropping on low speed.
Isn't
Nyan
that
has now
Math-
evolved to a
no.
full pilot.
Is it one of these pilots, Matthew Wood? Like that guy that was just talking?
I'm not sure.
I think it is.
Matthew Wood played Bib Fortuna in episode 1.
Hit the target dead center. As many rounds
And
as we can get.
with the Jabba at the pod race. Love that shot. The camera strapped on the side of the fighter.
Yep.
We've seen it in airplane, jet movies. All squadrons. Looks doesn't mess around here. So, launching torpedoes.
Very familiar sounds.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Elo Asti.
No damage.
Another Abednego. And another
Yeah.
Beastie Boys reference. My buddy Brody hates all the Beastie Boys references.
He does. That's
Yeah.
funny. It's fine.
He's got a license to ill.
Yep.
Intergalactic, planetary, intergalactic.
Oh my goodness.
Sure you're up for this? I'll go in and
Great Star Wars comedy.
Yeah. I was
Nope.
like,
behind
what?
behind you. Hey,
What are you doing? What are you doing?
well, it ruins the joke if you tell people.
I'm telling people.
Okay, go.
Or just get, a drink. Hard choices in life.
You can do both. It's okay. Wouldn't it have been hilarious if Ray just nervously blasted Han right there and like, oh crap, movie's over. Chewie, the ultimate wingman, helping Finn out. Back to the airlock with the coats. Hey, Han, put your coat on. I care about you, buddy. There's that shape of the sun we saw in the Force back. Jess Pava. Oh, Barillo. That's how you say his name. Thank you, captions again. You should check out the deleted scenes for this movie. There's a fun one with Finn and Rey on a snowspeeder that helps illustrate how they get to their next point. I love that guy. Little tiny lion dude. Luckily, we're in the business of delivering miracles.
Got to mention the other deleted scene, Mike, is the scene where Kylo finds the Falcon.
Yeah, that's a good one,
That's
too.
a really great scene. I understand why they cut it for pacing, but I really like it.
Same with, like, that deleted scene explains why Rey is wearing Finn's jacket when they run in here.
Also, another reason I like that scene, Mike, is it echoes Luke walking onto the Falcon, because you see Kylo walk onto the cockpit, the similar shot of Luke in The Last Jedi.
Yep.
And it's keeping that poetry of our families doing things
Stop
together.
calling callbacks poetry.
Yep. Well, and like all these people are related, right? Like I've mentioned before, Han and Luke are family. They're not my blood, but you know what I mean?
I like how Chewie's actually, no, my plan's better. And Han's like, oh, crap, you're right. So at this point in the theater, I was super nervous when we saw this the first time because I was afraid of what was going to happen.
Yep. Chewie's gorilla hands. We actually get a good look at him.
Yeah.
Most shots in the original movies, they just hide him because it's a lot of extra makeup work, right? Same with his feet, right?
Yep.
His feet are dramatically improved in this movie. They're not just boots with claws drawn on them.
Oh, crap, it's Ren. Well, we can't run. I guess we'll just fall in line.
Matt, the radar technician.
Dude, that guy sucks.
Oh, man. So Kylo's not quite as well done in this movie as he is in The Last Jedi. But the scenes coming up are really, really good. No, he's fine in this. I think he's great in The Last Jedi. So that's the difference. No, I'm convinced Kylo's one of the better fleshed out characters in this film.
We don't really know why they're climbing up, but they are.
So some of this is hero's journey stuff, Mike. Some of this is subverting the hero's journey stuff.
Which I am all about. We've already had 2 trilogies of Hero's Journey. Let it go.
Well, they're doing it with Rey still, to be fair. But
to a certain extent.
Rey's about to witness, just like Luke witnesses Obi-Wan's.
And right here, you know it's over.
Second, Han puts one foot on that bridge.
Mm-hmm. We hear his name.
And the scream
oh my
is so
God,
good.
They named him after Kenobi.
Oh, yeah.
And Chewie's like, what the? Oh, no!
Chewie's like, I know what's about to happen. Have you seen those comics with Chewie? It's so sad.
Yeah.
And his love of Ben.
Chewie is the true hero of Star Wars.
Chewie, the best babysitter ever when you were a little kid. Which is consistent with the legend stuff too, right? Chewie was a babysitter for Han and Leia's original kids.
But who cares about legends? It's dumb.
I care if Kylo Ren was hanging out with Chewie when he's a little kid. That's awesome. They obviously cared about legends when they pulled Kylo's
didn't.
stuff.
They absolutely did.
Yeah, they did.
Guarantee you they didn't give a crap about Jason Solo when they wrote this. We'll also ask JJ that.
You'd be like, how much was Kylo Ren based off of Anakin and Jason? He'd be like 5% off Jason.
You see Chewie squinting. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's different, right?
He's saying that to convince himself here.
Yeah, the way he says that line is strange, but then you're like, yeah, no, he's just saying that to be hard here, you know?
No, Dad, I'm a boss. It's Star Wars. You don't need to ask about the practicality of this long walkway that's narrow with no handrail. Don't worry about it.
That Star Wars is exactly the same.
Yep, exactly.
Han's trying to tell him the truth.
Shoot him, Chewie, now!
So there's, Mike, a really cool symbolism stuff here and obviously stylistic choices. Kylo's in the red and blue from the First Order stuff. Han's still in the light because the sun is shining through, which we've learned now that's keeping the Resistance alive, right?
Which is about to change.
And so when things get dire for the Resistance, they're about to get dire for Han here. And these are great, great moments here. Be free of this pain. He's torn between his family.
And we think that this is him, being called towards the light and then towards his grandfather. But I'm starting to come around to that Snoke manipulating him to the dark side the whole time.
But he's generally conflicted here.
Conflicted,
Master Luke
yes,
and
but
Han
it's
and Snoke.
What's conflicting him is
Right. He was
the
being
interesting
manipulated.
part. Yeah.
I heard some crazy fan theory the other day that Han turns on the lightsaber. I'm
That's
like,
stupid.
What?
Harrison,
people have too much time on their hands.
really wanted out of episode 8.
So here it is, Mike. The Resistance, everything is bad for them. The light's gone, and then it kind of snaps Kylo back out of it too, right?
If you only have faith in the sun when you can see it, you won't make it through the night or something like
Right.
that. Like
And that kind of rekindles Kylo's dark side.
I yelled like Chewie did in the theater the first time I saw it. Is it because he says thank you people think that Han turned it on? That's stupid.
I don't know. Fan theories sometimes just have to stop. Just watch.
Speculate responsibly.
Just watch the film.
Hashtag Force Center Podcast.
And I think this is going to matter a lot.
Grab him, fall off with him.
I think it's going to matter a lot. Han's still showing him one last loving, fatherly
Should've
moment.
Grabbed him and dragged him off the side with you.
No.
Kill him, Chewie. Get him.
So
Chewie, he just killed your third dog. Get him.
Leia's feeling on the Force.
So they've built up how powerful that weapon is.
I love it, yeah.
And for it to just drop him to a knee,
It makes Kylo pretty strong.
it also shows how injured he is.
Later,
The rest
later
of this
when
film,
Rey fights
yeah.
him, Mm-hmm. And Finn.
Chewie's like,
Chewie's like,
FNA, don't care, blowing us all
hate
up.
everyone. So Kylo sees Rey again and Finn.
They're about to go fire in 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Very much like the countdown we have in New Hope with Tarkin.
Yep.
Rebel base approaching.
Dun, dun,
5
dun,
minutes.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Hey, we've seen an area like this before.
But this, Mike, I rebuttal with people. This is very different from New Hope. We don't have this.
I actually meant the Force back earlier in the movie.
Oh, yeah. When people say it's too much like New Hope, we don't have a confrontation like this in New Hope during the Death Star trench run.
Yeah.
I like Kylo in these scenes a lot. He's very Sith here.
I still don't see Sith. I see a guy trying to convince himself that he's a bad guy.
He's a Sith. He thinks he's a Sith warrior in progress. So
Okay, I see a guy who thinks he might be
yes,
one.
that's what I mean.
Concussion.
He's not a confident Sith at all. He's emulating what he's been led to believe. And now we see the lightsaber movements here. This is what I'm talking
hey,
about.
check out what I can do.
There's the traitor. That's what I just emote
Another
over and over
meme.
again in Battlefront. It makes me feel like I'm really Kylo Ren. Finn again with the baseball bat.
Do we see this in a trailer, I think?
Yes. Did you see John Boyega watching the trailer the first time?
Oh, yeah.
On his
yeah.
Instagram?
He dives over the couch.
He like
yeah.
flips over when he sees. He was having a blast.
Kylo sort of just toying with him, but also in a bit of pain.
Yeah.
Finn,
such
Finn
cool
actually
move.
somewhat knows what he's doing. He hasn't trained specifically with the lightsaber, but he has trained in combat before. But not against the Jedi.
What a cool use
Oh,
of the
that's
new
what
saber.
those are for.
Yeah. Something really awesome in these scenes is this is the first Star Wars movie where they filmed the full-fledged lightsabers with real lighting. Mm-hmm. They put the animations on top later.
Thought they killed Finn the first time we saw this. I
You
was so
freaked out,
pissed.
didn't
Yep.
you? Arguably the best moment in the film. We have another callback with Luke's lightsaber in the snow like it is in the Wampa Den.
Boom!
And Rey looks confused, which I love.
Oh, hey, that worked.
And the first full-on version of the Force
So
theme,
the
right,
Force
Mike?
is awakened by her getting that concussion when she hit the tree. Kylo actually awakened the Force in her by giving her a concussion. No, it did not need to be Luke in that scene. This is not his story.
Right. And Mark has even said that.
So, look how she's using the lightsaber. She's just kind of swinging it around, right?
Oh, yeah.
She doesn't really know what she's doing.
Star One.
What do we do? It isn't working.
Black Widow, there's a brand new hole in that oscillator.
Is Star One one of the squads?
I'm not
Star
sure.
Squad? Or was there like a frigate that we never saw?
I think it's just random dialogue that somehow made it to the final cut.
Yeah. They're like, someone retcon that later. Mike, the X-Wings with the
I always
running
thought
lights.
he said we just lost R1, like red one. Yeah, I do like the running lights.
Yeah, like we see with Luke's X-Wing on
Bye-bye,
Dagobah.
Elo. It's too much like the trench run.
Once again, this stuff looks fine, Micah, but I don't think it holds up against the Rogue One and Last Jedi ship combat stuff.
It's just different because it's in the atmosphere.
Yeah, something about the atmosphere makes the CG more noticeable, and I don't know what that is. The Rogue One stuff is absolutely insane. Like,
Yeah, it's pretty
it
good.
looks. I mean, it looks like Return of the Jedi to me. You know. So Poe's just having an awesome
Mag pulses.
run here. He's blowing everything up. A little bit of the Star Wars dun, dun, dun,
Little
dun,
flourish.
dun.
I think he got it.
I love this stuff here. These shots coming up. Look at that. The running lights again. Keeping
Yeah, she's,
audience knowing
she's
where the
just
X-Wings
swinging
is.
this thing around. She doesn't know what she's doing.
no, and they both are right at this point. Kyle's just kind of enraged.
He's swinging it around in rage, but he has
he knows-
obviously used this weapon before.
Yeah, but like you said, Mike, he is severely injured here.
Mm-hmm.
His intestines got gutted in some way.
She tries the pointy end in the other guy, and it didn't work.
Yeah, that's the
Pointy
Ray
end
move.
again.
That's the Ray move in Battlefront 2, right?
Oh yeah,
Where you run
yeah.
with the pointy end.
You're right.
That's like her special move.
Nice. Oh crap.
And I really love the lightsaber fights and these sequel trilogies because it is the perfect middle ground between the prequels and the original trilogy. We have talking like the original trilogy, we have emotion like the original trilogy, but then we have a little bit more fanciness from the prequels lightsaber fighting, but not too much.
Yeah. I like the reflection in her eyes here. In
Oh yeah,
their
both of them
eyes.
got the. So I've heard people criticize this, Mike. Like, let's take 30 seconds, and I'm like, I think this is more of a. I think time is slowing down a little bit.
Did those 30 seconds ruin Star Wars for them because they're probably the crowd that can F and A right off?
I'm just like, it's just a story. I mean, you know what I mean?
Exactly. And she clearly knows what she's doing now because the Force is controlling her actions.
Oh yeah, and she's kind of angry here. She's got some of the Luke stuff going on. Maybe a little dark side flowing through.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she's got the Luke dark side look going like he had in. Look at that. And that is the exact move that Anakin does to Dooku. Throwing that out there. So I've actually seen people supercut some of this stuff. With
Anything that compares the sequel trilogy to the prequels is just wrong in my opinion.
So right there, Mike, where they do the grab, Anakin and Obi-Wan do the exact same thing in Revenge of the Sith.
Don't care.
You don't have to care. It's just true. It's just true.
I thought she cut his hand off the first time I saw that.
Right. Yeah, you know that.
Wait a minute.
Wow.
We need these characters to make it another movie.
Yeah.
Let's separate them.
The planet is falling apart.
Sure, the course of his scar changes between episode 7 and 8 too.
Yeah, that's not great, but it's okay.
Fine. Just like Snoke. Crap,
Yeah.
take off.
Look
Oh
at that
my
guy.
god!
He doesn't make it. I love that. I'm glad you didn't like that too. That one guy, he tried.
Get back to your station! Look! We won't survive! Even Hux is gone!
Even Hux is gone. So once again, referring that Hux is really high command. Oh, look at the hologram shining through there. That was cool, right? The rocks falling through him.
So, enough time passes between 7 and 8.
You think there's some more training done?
No, not training, because it's only a few hours, maybe a few days max, but enough time for the remains of the First Order fleet to get to Snoke's ship, the Supremacy,
Right.
for them then to lead their re-coordinated attack on the Resistance.
So, Kylo never really finishes his training then, does he? With Snoke.
I think that Snoke, in Snoke's mind, finishing his training is the throne room scene in The Last Jedi.
Yeah,
but it goes
he was going to have him
not
kill Rey.
how he thought it went. Spoiler alert.
Right. And here's Chewie, our reliable taxi driver.
Yeah, Rey doesn't need her parents. She's got Chewie as the perfect stepdad.
Yeah. He's an Uber driver. He's a bodyguard.
Drives her all over the galaxy.
He's the best dog you'll ever have.
That's racist.
So there's Snap. He made it out, right, Mike? Even though we don't see him in The Last Jedi.
The Poe comics, I think, explain where him and Jess Pava are.
Where'd they go?
They are sent out to find allies before the attack on
makes
Dakar that
sense.
starts. Episode
Big explosion.
yeah. Well, it's a new sun being created, right?
Which is crazy, right?
I like this hyperspace scene,
Oh, yeah.
the one at a time jumping.
Once again, consistent with the way hyperspace done in the prequels, not the original trilogy, and that's a good change. Where everybody does a little stutter, and then they go.
No, that's just graphics improving.
Exactly.
And here's the blocking issue that JJ admits to being a problem.
Big problem.
Chewie shouldn't have even been in that shot.
No dog would have ever done that.
He's not a dog.
I'm joking,
He's a
Mike.
general.
Just think of your dog, though.
If my dog was mad at me, he'd totally do that.
I don't think Chewie's mad, though.
No, I know he's not.
Your dog would sense the pain. What is Chewie doing back there?
So JJ explained it as he is following Finn's.
That's what I thought.
Hover sled. We just don't actually see that
We don't get
illustrated
a close
very
up
well.
or anything.
Exactly.
There we go. We do get Chewie like this, though. Man, I love Chewie so much. I just...
Oh, hey, look who finally decided to wake up. Who are you?
So good. All
And
three
he looks
of them.
plastic again.
All three of them.
I'm going to tell Anthony Daniels you called him fat in this movie.
I didn't know.
Oh, you called him wide. Excuse me.
I said 3PO looks wide. I didn't say Anthony does. This might be a costume thing. Anthony still looks great, dude. Have you seen him?
Yeah.
He's skinnier than we'll be on our best day of our entire life, and he's you know what I mean.
That's true.
And he's old. He's maintained it.
I've seen that shape before.
Mike, I'll never forget us seeing Anthony Daniels at Star Celebration. So awesome.
He was funny.
Him literally running through the crowd with a sequined golden blazer on to Robot Rock by Daft Punk.
Well, and then he greeted everybody in line the next day.
So good. People that were waiting in line.
Some impressive hologram work, BB-8.
Yep. Octu.
Excuse me, I was sneezing. But yeah, that's the planet they go to.
Is Finn dead, Mike? Is this where you felt relieved?
This is where I felt better.
We see Rey in a new costume.
She stole someone's jacket.
Yeah. She's like, I got a Jedi vest. Yeah, why are people shipping for Kylo when Finn's been around for Rey this whole time?
Because she just friend zoned him right there.
The kiss on the head.
Uh-huh.
My buddy, I'll be back.
And people love damaged goods like Kylo, I guess. I don't know.
Her and Finn would be much better together.
And Finn and Poe would be even better.
Don't forget Chewie and Maz.
Oh, why is a general wearing a dress? It's so stupid. I hate oh, God. That's for our next commentary.
Leia gets to wear dresses anytime she wants.
No one else.
She's earning that. Chewie's ready?
Chewie, be the man. Take over the pilot seat.
Chewie looks so good. Like, the costume has evolved, Mike, in a good way.
Oh, yeah. I'm holding a gun up for no reason.
Yeah.
I haven't noticed that
Resistance.
before.
And look, Mike, 3PO's arm is gone. The red arm is gone.
That's dumb.
It got fixed. That's the canon of that someone
it's dumb.
fixed it somewhere after the battle. I just don't know why.
The red arm is a CG effect because in shooting, Anthony Daniels always had a donut in that hand.
Oh my
and
gosh.
that's why he looks so
Anthony, you have so much to live for. What if that would be the way to do it if you're Anthony, right? I'm sick of this.
Give me a donut.
Start eating hamburgers and donuts every day. Here we are on the west side of Ireland. I mean, Octu. So, Mike, the fun story for me is I went to Ireland a couple months ago, and Octu was closed. I was heartbroken. And the guy was like, you might be able to find some random fisherman that'll take you out there for some money and some maybe alcohol. And I was like, that sounds awesome, but also terrifying.
But you also might die.
Terrifying. Yeah, he's like, so I don't know if you caught some of the behind the scenes stuff, but
it's hard to
the
get
island
to.
is very dangerous to be on certain times of the year, and it's very hard to get to. And it's a historically protected sanctuary.
You see the Porg predecessors flying around right here.
Right. So this is
because it's also a nature preserve.
It's a nature preserve, and it is one of the oldest standing monasteries in the entire world. So it's one of the historical protected Christian sites, and then also you can't deal with any of the wildlife, Mike. You're right.
Well, I need a special edition now where those birds we saw flying around are Porgs.
All of them are Porgs.
Yeah.
That would.
So many people lost, and rightfully so, lost their minds here.
We all did, right?
Oh my God, is that a grave he's standing next to?
Yeah.
The novelization of The Last Jedi reveals that he's standing there brooding
about destroying the text.
Because he couldn't destroy the temple. He tried and failed again.
Yeah, Mark thought he was brooding about Harrison's death, as in Han's death, but of course Luke doesn't know yet. Because he's severed himself from the Force.
JJ was like, here, Ryan, you take this and run with it. And run with it he did.
So they did a pretty good job rematching these scenes, Mike, because they obviously had to refilm this. Pick up right where they
I don't think they did. I think they filmed the beginning and end at the same time. Pretty sure.
No, Ryan the next stuff they filmed.
No, I'm pretty sure
A lot of the Last
initial
Jedi
shots-
haters reference that the lighting's completely off.
I'm pretty sure it was done at the same time, but I'm not 100% positive.
No, I think it was pickup, but that's fine. No, Mike, some of the edits of
As if I
People
give
have
a
already
crap
started
what
editing-
the Last Jedi haters think.
yeah, they're started editing the lighting and stuff too. J.J. Abrams,
Directed by Hey Jabrams. So that was
Lawrence Kasdan and J.J. Abrams wrote it.
Yeah. So that was our commentary track for episode 7, The Force Awakens.
Still good, Mike.
Yeah, no, I hadn't seen that in a while, and I
Same.
still really like that movie.
We say a while. A while for us is like
It's been a
3
couple
months
months
or more.
Been a
Yeah.
couple months, yeah.
That's a while for Star Wars movie for us.
No, it's still really good. Like we had talked about, there's a couple things that look different between 7 and 8. We'll talk about those again when we get to our episode 8 commentary.
Yeah.
But overall, still a fantastic movie. Maybe a little safe because
Definitely.
we made fun of some people by saying it's a straight ripoff of the original trilogy, and it's not. But it was
Right.
a good business decision movie because you had to bring fans back who had checked out
Right.
after the prequel era, like me, and it totally worked.
And also new people, right? I actually have met, Mike, several people in my life, unbelievably so, but this was their first Star Wars experience.
Yeah.
And so it brought them to this world we love so much. And they went back and watched the originals and the prequels after that. So it's like, they had to be safe in a lot of ways, like you said. So, Andy Serkis, there it is. I love it. We didn't mention that. What a shame earlier that we didn't mention Andy Serkis playing
He's fine.
Snoke. He's fine. And Max von Sydow.
Yeah. So we hope you enjoyed rewatching episode 7 with us.
Oh, yes.
We hope you are subscribed to our podcast feed wherever you like to get podcasts, The Canon Cantina. We're on Twitter at The Canon Cantina. We got a Facebook page. Instagram is at, you're going to get this one right, not me. What's
Canon
it?
Cantina.
Yeah, that's right. I was going to say that. Instagram is at Canon Cantina. Send us an email to canoncantina@gmail.com. We hope you have enjoyed this special bonus episode. We hope to do more of them.
Yeah.
Might not always get to do them in person like we did today, but I had a great time sitting on your couch and watching your sweet TV.
Thanks. Yeah, if you guys enjoy these bonus episodes, please let us know. Please be vocal about it, and we will do more of these. So Mike and I have a lot of bonus stuff planned for the future. A lot of it we're working out right now, and any suggestions and any encouragement would be great. Hoping this can continue in the future to some con stuff, some gaming stuff, some non-related, like we're doing normally, the story-focused Luke Skywalker stuff, but more just fun Star Wars stuff. So, and we'll obviously reference the show too in places when it's relevant. But we hope you guys enjoy their time here. Join us next time on the next bonus episode where we cover The Last Jedi. Well, hopefully we're going to have a lot to say there.
Ooh, yeah. I imagine we can probably fill up several bonus episodes worth of content.
We're going to have to cut it slim, Mike. You're very right. Just to the runtime of the film.
That's
So,
right. We hope you had a good time here in the Canon Cantina. Cheers, everybody.
may the force be with you.